You're either perfect or you're not me. Speaking of perfect, do you want a perfect keyboard? Yes, perfect. I'm talking about a keyboard that drops anyone's jaw and just feels like a flex. Of course, you could get these cheap $8 keyboards off AliExpress or these $50 ones, but do you really know the difference? No, really, I want you to tell me what the difference is. They look identical and most likely function the same. Although yes, you could get these basic keyboards. Don't you want something that screams premium at the price of one of the basic ones? Yes, I'm talking about the one, the only, GMK67-S. Now, of course the box came damaged, that's just the usual. We got the US version, white, and RGB. On the back we can see it comes with 2.4 mode, wired, Bluetooth, or an option to have Windows or Mac. Now why exactly would you get this? Well, for starters, it's only $32.84, which is already an absolute steal for what you're getting. On top of that, it comes with an LCD screen, which just adds to the infinite amount of possibilities you could do to customize this keyboard, matching keycap sets, desk themes, pretty much anything you want, you can change it with LCD. First switch is running with these old Temu silent switches, which has two options, the peach silent ones, which are linear, and the tactile lemon switches, which, of course, are tactile. But I mean, who even likes tactile? Psychopaths, really. So we'll be going with the linear switches for a more silent feel. Getting into the actual unboxing itself, ignoring the damage on the box, it does just feel like any other keyboard. But of course, it isn't, otherwise why would we be reviewing this keyboard? Taking out of the sleeve, it honestly felt like unboxing an Apple product. Super... I don't even know how to describe it, unboxing an Apple product, but it just felt nice. It's super light, surprisingly, even with a battery in it, and comes with height adjustable feet for anyone who likes to... I have no idea why people use these super comfortable in my opinion, but it's there, an option for anyone who wants to use them. Obviously the whole board itself is plastic, but nice feeling plastic. It has like a super nice matte finish all over it, making it feel super soft to the touch, and overall just premium. Definitely not disappointed with this purchase. In the box, we also have the manual, which, I mean, real gamers would never read that. And the basic accessories, like the USB-C cable and the keycap puller. The USB-C cable is nothing special. Just an average one. Keycap puller is like any other keycap puller. But I mean, we're not here for those, right? We're here for the actual modding of the keyboard. Stabilizers themselves do look fine. They actually also feel fine. They are not loose at all, which, I mean, hence the name stabilizer. They are stable. But I mean, I have run some keyboards where the stabilizers were super wobbly. Luckily, not a case with this. Now for opening this, I actually couldn't find any screws in the back, and I probably should have watched some sort of tutorial before making this video, but I wanted to make it a good first impression myself, so you guys would have a 100% honest review. The dongle is hidden in this little area that has a springy feel to it. I'm assuming there's magnets in it, because it just clamps on just like that. Super sturdy. I don't think it was going to fall off if you're planning on carrying this keyboard around. I'm assuming like most keyboards without screws in the back, it's as simple as just removing some of the clamps that are hidden inside the board. Let me tell you, this was not an easy task. I almost thought this was just impossible to open at one point. I ended up getting these plastic pry tools, which just did not help at all. So I went straight back to trying to pry them up with my hands. Again, no results really showing. A rock climber would probably struggle opening this. Realistically, I did manage to clip off the top ones. The bottom ones were the ones that gave me the most trouble. After a while, I did find out a little technique. So, simply all you have to do this effectively is push upwards and up at the same time. So now getting this board actually open, it's as simple as just removing the little clamps that are on the side now and lifting it up. As you can see, there are magnets there, which is what gave the USB dongle that springy feel to it. Now, we don't need these anymore. We never did it in the first place. That was just me getting frustrated not being able to open this. But now that we have this open, it's time for the modding. Now, we have to remove these connections first, which, I mean, I definitely didn't struggle with at all. But once you've actually removed them, you have the board out. The connection for the OCE is right there, which you don't need to remove at all, or really touch for that matter. As you said, they are gasket-mounted rubber pieces. Well, they're not rubber, they're more like foam. But for this specific mod, I'm pretty sure that how won't matter, since we'll be completely destroying that gasket-bound feel. For now, we will be removing this foam piece as it will get in the way, but we will be adding it towards the end. Although I doubt it would do much after this mod. Now that we have our actual things all apart, it's time to put these aside so we can have everything clear and ready for the modding. Now we have everything clear, it's time for the modding itself. Now what exactly we will be doing with this keyboard? I mean, as you can see, if it was plastic, right? That's what makes it cheap. It's light. But wait, what if it wasn't light? What if it was as heavy as a aluminum keyboard? Yeah, I'm talking about filling this all up with coins. Quarters, to be exact. The thought process is to fill everything up to really get at that super heavy feel. Probably even heavier than an actual aluminum keyboard, which makes it feel more expensive. Now, what will we be securing everything down with? Well, simply go to your local Dollar Tree and get a glue gun. This one was purchased at Walmart, or as simply just go to your siblings' piggy bank and get all their quarters. Then one note is right. If you are siblings, well, it looks like grab of luck. Or, last option, you could just rob a bank. You know, something casual. So now we're gonna put the quarters inside the case to really get a feeling, sort of blueprint on where we can put them. I'm gonna stack 3 on top towards the top, and I'm pretty sure it will close in the end, since they are the height of the battery. Now we're gonna be putting more of the quarters in just to get, again, more of a blueprint of where we're gonna put them when we start hot gluing everything, so we don't have one side heavier than the other and everything is nice and even out. So now that we finished getting our outline, we can really see how much weight it adds to it. And it's starting to feel a lot like an aluminum board. Nice, heavy, and overall just expensive. Literally. I bought this painter's tape off AliExpress as well for like $1. I thought it was going to be a lot thicker. But I mean, that was just my bad for not reading the descriptions of it. For comparison, here's what it says, an average size tape. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, but it's still gonna work for our needs. Now it's time to hot glue all the coins in. This was fairly simple, straightforward, since we already have an outline in our head. While doing it, I also would put the board consistently on to see if it would really actually fit once all done. And this one looks like when it's done. 2 coins seems to be the limit towards the bottom. Though you probably should just do 1, because I later on have trouble actually clipping everything in. Overall, I think this is a success. It feels a lot heavier. And we all know, the heavier the better. Yes, I'm talking about women. But let's cover everything up with this white duct tape, as not only would make it look clear, but keep everything together in case your sibling ever throws it across the room. Now, in case you haven't noticed, yes, there is a button in the corner. You guys are just going to wait to the end of the video to find out what it does. Now, simply applying it was as simple as, honestly, just eyeballing how big it is. Or you could measure it, but, I mean, come on. This is one of the easiest part. Simply just put 2 pieces of tape side by side, and you're done. You could put more to maybe achieve a more thockier sound with certain switches, but duct tape is already pretty thick. I think this was enough. And we're just going to keep it nice and simple. And just like that, we have our heavy aluminum keyboard. Now time to put the foam back on, which you don't really have to, but I kind of want a more sound-absorbing keyboard. Just make sure to put the cables through the holes, for obvious reasons. Now that we have it done, it's time for the board. Now, I'm simply just checking right here if the board actually fits after this mod, which honestly I was starting to doubt, but surprisingly it actually fit pretty well. And now for the actual modding of the board. For this, we're only going to be doing the tape mod with this painter's tape we got from AliExpress. Now, of course, in case you didn't notice, it's super skinny, so your results would definitely vary in terms of efficiency. Now, of course, we did the iconic 2 layers, which took forever with this tape, but is what I recommend when modding any keyboard. Now that we have the board finished, it's time to put everything together. Simply connect the cables to the ports, which you previously unplugged from, and place the board back in, which I'll admit I have a bit trouble doing, which is why I recommend not playing as much quarters as me. Now for clipping everything in, it should be super simple, but again, because I had so much quarters in this, it actually made clipping everything in a lot harder than it used to be. I managed to clip the top perfectly fine, as 3 coins at the top is nothing, since that's what the battery is and it's the highest. The bottom is where I really struggled. But of course, with the strongest person alive, Sony managed to clip everything in. But, no doubt, if I drop this keyboard, it's gonna go flying off. Now it's time for the switches, which I put in 1 just to see if it would fit, and this board is pretty tight. This is because of the rubber-like sheet on top of the board. Now this part was actually pretty time consuming because how tight it was. So we'll be using some YouTube magic here. And kablamo. Now for the switches, of course, we didn't bend any because we're professionals here. But for you guys, I recommend getting a little bit more than you need in case you do badly break some of them. Even though you could bend them back in place, I recommend getting some more. For keycap, we'll be using this cheap keycap set from AliExpress, which surprisingly actually looks and feels premium. Now unlike the switches, this goes by a whole lot quicker, as most keycap sets actually have them organized so you can just take them out and plop them right in. Of course, keycaps are just purely preference. They do slightly affect sound, depending on which ones you get, but on average they sound pretty much the same. And at the end of the day, customize the keyboard however you want. And now, the sound test. So yeah, pretty silent. Overall, the build came out looking stunning, amazing. I mean, just look how clean this is. You wouldn't believe this is around 50 bucks, especially with that OCD. Although gimmicky, I mean, just look at how cool that is. Tell me your friends aren't gonna be like, whoa, that's the $100 keyboard right there. But I'll be honest, I don't really like the silent switches much. I ended up switching them out with some normal Royal Fledged switches. And I think it sounds so much more crispier and fuckier. Overall, of course the screen is a gimmick, but it's awesome. Here's a sound test with the normal switches. Now, for this, we will be using low-profile keycaps as I prefer the nice, flat feel that they give. Like, here's a test. Now, is it me, or does this low-key sound familiar? Now we have a board finished. What are my final thoughts on this? Do I regret buying it? No. I mean, just look at this gimmick-ass screen. However, silent switches, although yes, are silent, feel cheap, like a membrane keyboard. And at the end of the day, why did you get a keyboard? For the mechanical feel. With membrane, it doesn't have the mechanical feel. It feels rubbery and pretty cheap. With the silent switches, it feels the same. Yes, it's silent, but why are you getting a mechanical keyboard if it's just in a feel like a membrane one, right? Membrane's also silent, so save yourself time if you want to go silent and just get a membrane keyboard, as they pretty much give you the exact same result. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for.
What do you call it when a pirate has sore joints? Arthritis.